YouTube. It's Chosen the Destroyer, and we are going to watch a new internet historian, batting 100 today. The Ever Given, Ever Taken Away. I am honestly pumped. Anyway, grab your snackies, grab your bevies. Let me know what you're eating and or drinking down below. Well, let's get to watching.
This video was made possible by Saily and some very patient people over at Patreon.
Okay,
Are they patient?
music fades in.
Mm-hmm.
My friend, let me weave you a tale
Please do.
of a windswept night beyond the old Egyptian sands, where the water
guess.
plays coy with the shore, and the coy are sure to play in the water, where the desert wolves make love to the moon.
Yes, all right. At the very least, they serenade it, right? The desert wolves, yeah. To the moon, uh-huh.
Next page. Exterior day.
This is the Suez Canal.
Uh-huh.
Undeniably, Egypt's most famous body of water. Nothing bad, ever.
Can I just say, canals are crazy to me. Have you guys ever seen canals? Like the Panama Canal? I haven't seen it in person, but how they get the boats across is crazy. I don't know. Anyway.
Happens here. Oh, except for that one time.
That one time.
Oh. Okay, so there's a ship, and it's called the Ever Given, and it's going up the Suez Canal really, really fast, probably. And you think that, well, the Port Authority would call up, and they'd be like,
Captain, you are going way too fast.
but the captain, he's wicked sick cool, so he's like,
They're just jealous of my
I'm doing it for my family. I assume is kind of the vibes of every Fast and Furious, so I'm assuming it's the same vibes here.
passion for going fast through critical trade infrastructure. Increase speed.
If you will not slow down,
Watch me ramp this boat and do a sick barrel roll.
prepare to meet the full might of the Egyptian military.
two of Egypt's fastest fighter jets scramble on the runway.
Yeah?
But the captain kept adding power.
Faster! The people of Europe need these Chinese
Hit the nos!
knockoffs of European goods.
And they got all sorts of technology to go like top speed.
Don't go faster, I beseech you.
The magnets were pretty funny.
But everyone on the crew was loving it. Yeah, go faster. But then,
Look out! Someone left a ramp in the middle of the canal.
Hell yeah.
A freight.
Sick as hell. Let's go.
it was at this point that the captain chose to do a wicked sick jump. Lens flare.
No, wait, no. Go back.
Wicked sick jump. Lens.
Lens flare. Okay. Container ship does an amazing jump in Suez Canal. There was a lens flare at the Suez Canal and it made the ship jump even more epic. Coolest container ship to grace the seven seas ever given. The Ever Given, a 200,000-ton mega ship, did an epic something? No. Epic jump on a ramp in the Suez Canal on Tuesday. Ever Given ship does a jump, and there was a lens flare.
But they
Hell yeah. Sick as hell, guys. Sick as hell.
They were gonna collide with a gently sloping sandy bank.
Not a gently sloping sandy bank.
They threw on the handbrake,
Drop anchor! Brace for impact!
but it was too late. Collision. Literally everybody died.
It blew up and it blew a chunk of Egypt off the face of the earth. And now it's just floating up there as our second moon. And it's causing werewolves to freak out during the full moon.
Ever given, ever taken away.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that'll do. All right, see you in a year.
Bye.
What do you mean it's not long enough? Wikipedia, ChatGPT. Add the music. They love that. A reaction gif? That's a good one. No, this video's too good. Dial it back a little. Okay, let me start again.
That's too good.
I'll do the phony voice too.
I like how he's suddenly that dude from Dune.
Better. Okay, so here's what really happened.
Okay, the following is based on true events. However, most details come from secondary sources. While some conversations were recorded, including the VDR data of the ship, almost none of that material has been made available to the public. So we took a few liberties to fill in the gaps, such as the sick ramp. Okay, anyway. All characterization should be considered fictional, not relative to the real people involved, and interpreted for storytelling and entertainment purposes only. Also, we play pretty fast and loose with certain details and the order of events. Be cool and please don't bother any of the people involved in the Suez incident. We're just here to have a good time. We're here for vibes, people. Vibes. Everything is great.
This story begins in Malaysia. Of course, you already know, but that's this one over here.
Mm-hmm.
And at a port named
Sure.
Tanjung Pelepa.
Once again, has anybody gotten on the side of TikTok with longshoremen? Has anyone else gotten on longshoreman TikTok? I don't know why I'm on longshoreman TikTok, but I am. And it's kind of interesting watching them work. All right, anyway.
Is the container ship known as the Ever Given?
If you Google it later, you may notice that every image of the Ever Given, we have edited out the original Evergreen writing on the side, which is the name of the operating company, and replaced it with the ship's name. It is not an error. We thought it would be too distracting for the audience to constantly see a different but similar name. That is confusing. So on the actual ship, it says Evergreen. That is because that is the company that owns the ship and the shipping company, if that makes sense. So they're the ones that are like, hey, we have this ship, you're captain of this ship. Go here, pick up this cargo, and then go to this other and take it to this other place. So it's like Amazon, sort of. Evergreen is kind of like the Amazon of this. And the Ever Given is the ship. So it is the specific Amazon truck that is taking it to your doorstep.
The last of the cargo is loaded onto the ship, and the captain of the ship, Krishnan Kanthaval, is there with his crew.
The crew comprises about 20 Indian dudes who do everything from navigation to engineering and maintenance. There are photos, but it felt unnecessary to show them here, which is fair.
The ship, and the captain of the ship, Krishnan Kanthaval, is there with his crew of 20. Hello.
Only 20
At
people?
this point, Kanthaval probably said something like,
I'm sorry, all the Amazon boxes are pretty funny considering they're just inside the ship. Only 20 people? Is that normal for a ship this size? Like a cargo ship this size? It might be. I don't fucking know.
all right, the boat's tummy is all full of cargo. We're almost ready to get going. So Evergreen, the operating company of the ship, would have called ahead and booked passage for the ship. Yes, one adult
It's 20
ship
to 100?
ticket, please.
Okay.
Large. How many containers? Hold on.
Many.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Now this guy at the operating company is
At least 20.
on the line to the Suez Canal Authority, and they are in charge of all of the operations.
Guys, I'm so sorry. The smokestack, the smoke coming out of the smokestack makes an S and C. That's great. Suez Canal. That's awesome. Do you see what I'm talking about? This right here. I love that. It's a good little logo. And it's two ships passing. This is a great logo.
Of the Suez Canal. All right, thank you for choosing Suez Waterways. You are scheduled for March 23rd. You are 922nd in queue. All right, we've got a Supermax container coming through on March 23rd. Pulling up the stats now.
Did he not say 22nd and then just said March 23rd? Is that not what just
Through on
happened?
March 23rd. Pulling up the stats now. All right, we've got a Supermax container coming through on March
No.
122nd in queue. All right, thank you for choosing Suez Waterways. You are scheduled for March 23rd.
Okay,
You
no,
are
I just didn't
922nd
hear
in
right.
queue. All right, we've got a Super
Oh, I got confused about the 922nd. Okay.
Max container coming through on March 23rd. Pulling up the stats now.
The Ever Given, one of the largest container ships in the world. Over 400 meters long, 60 meters wide. Only 10% smaller than the world's largest aircraft carrier.
That's crazy.
Able to
Not to scale the USSS. God, the USSSSSS. The USS Gerald Ford is actually small. It's smaller length ways. Okay, I didn't read that right. It's actually smaller lengthways than the Ever Given, but it's a bit wider in some parts, so it's larger overall. If we used a more accurate visual scale, it would look deceptively smaller. Okay.
able to carry over 20,000 of these shipping containers.
Damn.
Here's a guy.
Carry capacity is measured 20-foot equivalent units. These are the smaller size containers pictured here, but most containers are 40 feet, twice as long. So the Ever Given would have closer to only 10,000 standard containers worth of carry capacity. Still impressive. I can't even carry one. That is true. Same.
And a sandwich for scale.
And a sandwich.
All right, navigator, helmsman, Gene. Let's get going. We wouldn't want to hold up the other ships. With a teary goodbye, the Ever Given sets sail from Malaysia and makes course for the Netherlands.
Okay.
Let's go to the map. Malaysia, and you already know, but the Netherlands is over here.
The route's so simple. You just go from here over to... Oh. We're blocked by Africa, sir.
Should we just head back?
Should we just give up entirely?
Don't worry, I know a shortcut. Head into that inlet. It's called the Red Sea. Captain, it's blue. I know. In a bit over a week, the Ever Given cruises all the way
Oh my
to the
God.
Red Sea.
And on the way, someone on the crew points out Djibouti and says it aloud.
Djibouti.
Djibouti, because it's fun to say. It's a great time to be a cargo ship captain, I can tell you that much.
Captain, we've got another problem.
We're all just guys here. We're having a good guy time out here on the water.
On the sat-nav. There's more land in the way. How are we supposed to get through an obstacle like this? Should I just head back? Now, if this was 1868, Canterville would be in big trouble. But luckily, in 1869, someone happened to dig a big channel right from one side of this isthmus to the other, and filled it with water, they did.
That's crazy.
Which meant that ships no longer needed to circumnavigate Africa. It's
Okay.
nothing personal. It's a geographic thing. Late that evening, the Ever Given arrives at the Gulf of Suez, here on the map. It's a big open area for ships to park. And there are ships everywhere, sitting idle, waiting for their turn to pass through the canal. Now the helms...
I wonder about like around. I could just look this up, but like around the Gulf of Suez or whatever. Like, are there big cities and stuff? Like, how is the Gulf? Because they you see so many ships go through that. Is it like awful? Like, you know, talking about like the water quality and stuff. I wonder, legitimately.
is kind of driving around the area, looking for a place to park and drop anchor. But then, something captures his attention. Hey, what's that mysterious-looking ship over there? It looks abandoned.
Gasp.
M.V. Ahmad. M.V. Do not speak its name, helmsman. Why not? Look, there's a spot. That's a handicap. They park the ship, drop anchor.
What?
Look, there's a spot. That's a handicap.
Their parking zone was E16, if that's interesting to anyone at all. That means nothing to me. I don't know what that means. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of like infrastructure, quote unquote, or like whatever the fuck in this canal because of how many ships go through it. are in this like gulf because of how many ships go through it or whatever, that means nothing to me. I'm gonna be honest. I don't understand that. But like I assume they were like, go into this general coordinates and you can park there, which is crazy to think about. Water quality is abysmal. Sure.
Park the ship, drop anchor, and radio in to the Suez Canal Authority. Thank you for joining the queue. Typical wait time is a few hours, up to
Typical wait time might be anywhere from a few hours to a full day, depending on traffic and conditions.
one business day. Why do we have to wait? Why can't we just go straight through? Because we've got rules here at the canal. A big book of them. No running, no dive bombing, and blah, blah, blah. Somewhere way down the back of the manual it says, all vessels entering or leaving the canal must have a pilot. And in fact, a ship as large as yours needs 2.
Do it for her. Cleopatra!
These pilots are employees of the Canal Authority who understand the perils of the route. Kind of like a consultant to the captain. And they stand around going, yes, yes, go here, turn coming up here, watch out for the geese.
Watch out for the geese.
So just stand by for a while, yep? Alright, nothing to do till this pilot arrives. Guess I'll take a little bit of me time. I'm off to my cabin, fellas. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And so just after midnight,
Sure.
Cantheville heads back to his quarters to take a nap.
Sure.
Quite a cozy scene, wouldn't you say? But all is not well on the Ever Given tonight. There seems to be some trouble with the weather. 2:30 a.m. Cantheville wakes up. Outside is the loud rattle of shipping containers sparring with the wind.
Can I be honest? I know these bitches semi-lock into one another, like not like the way they're made of is very interesting. If you guys don't know, they're made to stack on top of each other and kind of lock into place, but like not fully lock into place, right? So if you go and get like totes from like Home Depot or something, they do the same thing if you get the same kind. It's interesting, right? So like the way they stack, they kind of like nest into each other to stack or whatever to keep them a little bit more secure on the ship. I could never be on a cargo ship because I would be like, these bitches are going to fall over. Like, I don't care. They're going to fall over. Somehow they're going to fall over. Something horrible is going to happen because they put so many of them on the boat and they're just sitting there, just on the boat. They're just there on the front of on the boat, sitting there in tall towers. And tall towers. Like, I can't. No, thank you. And then, like, these ships go through storms and shit. That's why, by the way, we do lose a lot of these cargo things in the ocean, by the way, if you don't know. I say we, humanity. A lot of these do go overboard. These things get lost. So I just... Yeah, they're not really locked in. They're held down by their own weight, but like it's a thing. But like still, like I just no. Like, oh, there's bad weather. Oh, we're just gonna lose shit, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Loud enough to capture Cantheville's attention. Rah-rah. He dashes up
Ruh-roh.
to the bridge. All right, what's the status on it being really, really windy outside? The wind is up to 35 knots, but the Ever Given is fine and the anchor is keeping us held. All right, it sounds like I can head back to my quarters then. Wait, Captain. I think we need to move the ship. Yeah, those guys are getting closer and closer to us. We're surrounded by ships like the Al Nasriyah. Their anchors can't withstand the wind and they are being dragged about.
Oh
We
shit.
need more buffer
Oh shit! That'd be terrifying.
or there's risk of a collision. Good thinking. All right, duty engineer, prep the engines. Aye. The ship kicks to life. The helmsman steers the Ever Given to get further away from the other ships. This whole thing might be cancelled. Port control. Although this waiting area is delightful, the weather outside is very frightful. Is passage through the canal still happening? Not cancelled. Hold position. Your pilot is wrapping up and will be on his way to your vessel soon. They're making us wait. Captain, if we're struggling not to hit ships in this big open area,
It's going to get pretty dicey when we have to navigate through a narrow channel like the
Correct.
Suez.
Yes. Although you should have said, spoiler warning.
Coming up next on Channel Ad Time.
Welcome
Okay.
back to Raising Saily.
Ooh.
I'm Saily Man, professional traveler and eSIM user. Finding tourists to get them huge savings on an eSIM plan. It ain't for the faint of heart. But if there's one thing I've learned in all my years, when they're traveling, they need data.
I can't get an Uber. I didn't sort out my data before I left.
I have a question for any of you who travel. So far when I go to other countries, I just get like a mobile hotspot because there's plenty of places that will like send a mobile hotspot either where you're staying or you can pick it up at the airport, that kind of shit. Is that like, I don't know, I'm comfortable with the mobile hotspot because like everyone I'm traveling with can use the one mobile hotspot as long as they're near each other. Is an eSIM better? I don't fucking know. Give me your opinions if you have experience with it. I've never done an eSIM before. Like for traveling.
Got another one. Try this. First, we download the Saily app on your phone. Then we choose how much data we want and where. Then we add the code Internet Historian for 15% off. And don't forget the most important part. Mwah.
What happened to your
I just gave
face?
your phone international data using the Saily app.
Thank you, Saily Man. Very
Well,
cool.
bye.
So download the Saily app or scan the QR code on the screen now and use the code Internet Historian to get 15% off at checkout.
It's so beautiful here in the hills of Switzerland. If only I could listen to podcast in the background.
Here comes Saily Man. Over 200 destinations, 24/7 live chats.
Just knock that lady over.
Physical SIM or roaming fees, because it's just an app.
Could I have my phone back, please?
At Saily, family comes first, and data comes second. Data comes first. They're both tied for first.
Tonight on Raising Saily.
Anyone can get Saily. Did what?
Listen, I don't want to ever run into any of these people, so.
Sorry, I have a boyfriend once. All regular.
I have a presentation in 15 minutes at the UN Security Council,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't download the slides. Without this presentation,
Why
I'm
didn't
worried
you?
they're going to nuke North Sentinel Island again.
15
Again.
minutes to go and he hasn't got the slides.
I'll be the guy who started the next World War without those damn slides.
10 minutes to go and he hasn't got the slides.
History will not look kindly on me without those slides.
What the fuck
Here
is
comes
happening?
Saily. Now you have 10 gigabytes of data on your phone. Cheaper than most phone providers.
I love you, Saily Man.
Hush, little one. I saved it.
The Saily app really saved me.
This truly
Tourism, not nukes to North Sentinel. First of all, how about neither of those things? Just leave them alone. Okay, just leave them alone.
was our darkest hour. But we prevailed. It's not an easy job, but Saily gets me through. So download the Saily app or scan the QR code on screen and use Internet Historian as the code to get 15% off at checkout.
I'm not planning on going anywhere this year. I mean, the year's half over at this point, but I'm not planning on going anywhere this year. I don't think I'm going to remember this next year by the time I am traveling. Here's hoping. But seriously, if you've ever used an eSIM and a mobile hotspot or just an eSIM, give me pros and cons, like legitimately. I'm not necessarily saying Saily specific, but like if you've used one, let me know.
Get some damn data on your phone, why not? Add over.
Listen, okay, sometimes you need your phone so you can know where the fuck you're going in another country, all right?
Time has passed. We're back on the bridge. There's the helmsman. Captain's gone back to his quarters. Pilots won't be here for hours. Then suddenly, an idea.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
The helmsman takes it upon himself to navigate a little bit of art.
You didn't tell him not to do that.
Tee-hee-hee, says the helmsman. As long as no one checks the nav data, this won't come back to bite me at all.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of hours pass. The wind dies down just a little.
No ships crashed into the Ever Given, but a small one did pull up beside it. Captain, pilots are here. Welcome.
There's a thing. There was an individual pilot who guided the crew to the canal entrance, different from the two in the shot. When he leaves, these two new pilots join the Ever Given. Nothing interesting happens with this initial pilot, so we've conflated this event, bringing the two pilots in earlier to spare you a pointless scene that holds no meaning.
Welcome aboard. Oh, hey, Captain. Yes, we're running late. Where's the helm? We don't know what the pilots' names are, so we're just going to go with blue and red.
Cool.
Okay, I think we should move ahead at about 14 kilometers. That's right. Ahead. 14 kilometers per hour.
Okay.
The Ever Given joins a convoy of ships taking position at the entrance to the canal.
If you notice the jump in time, yes, it took 1 hour and 20 minutes to get to the entrance from the waiting area and get everyone queued up. These ships are slow. They are slow, especially when they've all been waiting in it's not even like technically a line. They're waiting to be called. So they're just kind of vibing, right?
Convoy, checking in. Ready. All right, everybody. We want to be alert. Stay focused. Yeah, Captain. I'll follow the other ships. I'll try not to get lost. Hold on, helmsman. And the audience. This is a much more perilous journey than you might know. What? A big straight line? It is 193 kilometers of narrow waterway. Mm-hmm. And I hope you've got some stamina, because it takes 12 hours to traverse. That's a full day trip. Some parts are only 24 meters deep. Oh, that's very shallow. Yes, and only 200 meters wide in some parts. That's very narrow. I've seen McDonald's drive-thrus with more clearance. And you certainly wouldn't want to have an accident, would you? Because 12% of the entire world's sea freight passes through here. If you blocked it, the consequences would be humongous. No pressure, though. Oh, I see. Oh, don't mind him. He gives that speech to everybody.
They would be given commands in knots rather than kilometers per hour, I guess. But it's just easier this way.
Ahead, 14 kilometers per hour. Yes, pilot. 14 kilometers. Steady on. So into the canal the Ever Given went. As they cruise, the winds swirl back onto the sea. No longer buffered by miles of open water, the sand and dust can blow about with abandon. Low visibility. Strong winds jostle the ship. Grip
oh, that sucks.
The bow. The Ever Given steams ahead at about the pace of a fast jog.
You know, you would think at some point they would deepen it and possibly widen it as well. You know? And like before you go, it's like, oh, that's a big undertaking. Like, yes, it is a big undertaking, but also companies pay money to use these canals, so they're getting money. They are already getting money. But you would just think that maybe. But then also, like, people don't want to do that because they're like, well, it hasn't been a problem so far, so, you know.
And there's no real build-up here, to be honest. Things go awry almost immediately. How are you coping with the wind? It's manageable. All right, well, the wind is definitely pushing us to the left-hand side. Yes, just try to keep it as centered as you can. Adjusting.
These winds are quite something. Do you think we should have insisted they postpone?
The pilots don't seem worried, and they know this water better than anyone. The angle of the wind is particularly nasty, catching the enormous surface area of the ship and constantly nudging it off course.
Helmsman, you're still too far to the left. You got to get back to the center.
Yeah, I'm trying. Adjusting. The helmsman keeps changing the trajectory of the ship, but he cannot seem to stay in the center.
That's because it's a big-ass wall just, like, slowly moving to the side. Like, the wind is hitting it. Okay, what I'm going to assume, as someone who has driven what is basically a giant fucking box truck, because it's, like, okay. You guys can see this happening if you drive near, like, 18-wheelers on very windy days, or if you're driving a 26-foot-long motherfucker U-Haul on a windy day, okay? You're going one direction, but the wind is hitting your side. Though you're just a big fucking square, man. Okay? You're a giant square, and the wind is gonna push you over really hard. Like, because the wind is just hitting you and it's not able to go around you. It is like breaking against you. So like you just kind of get pushed over, and like you can see it happening with 18-wheelers. It's really scary when it happens and you're driving beside an 18-wheeler, but same thing is happening with the ship, except it's slightly worse because the ship is in water. So it's actually pushing the ship in the water over more easily than like if it was on like road, right? So like there's less traction here. It's just going. So basically he would have to turn the wheel as if he was like turning the ship over to be over here to counteract this wind situation. So I'm guessing this is why all of this happened to begin with.
Come on, helmsman, we're still not centered.
I know, it's the wind. No matter what they do, they can't seem to get away from the left bank. The wind foils their every countermaneuver. This is not as manageable as I thought it would be. Is it going to be like this the whole way? Don't worry, this is really common. It won't be the whole trip.
No, the problem is we're going too slow.
Red Pilot takes the initiative.
Well,
If we speed up, we can push through the wind. Accelerate to 22 kilometers an hour.
Somewhat reluctantly, the helmsman obliges. 22 kilometers per hour.
Engines engage and the ship speeds up. Captain, going this fast in heavy winds is needlessly reckless. There are protocols for this sort
I teach so angrily. Sorry, I'm really pumped about this video. I'm gonna be honest.
of thing.
All right, Gene, it's a bit windy. Relax, this must happen all the time. The Red Pilot was right. The increased speed helps them to fight through the wind and get away from the left-hand bank.
Okay.
However, they can't seem to keep the ship in the very center. Helmsman, you're aimed too severely to the right-hand bank now.
We need a bit of leadership here. Don't worry, I know what to do. Turn left.
Adjusting. The
Turn
pilot's
left.
giving steering instructions now. Captain, is he supposed to do that? Captain, the pilot is not here to give steering orders. You should say something. The ship is now consistently snaking left and right and left and right.
Turn to
Jesus.
the right.
So they turn to the right.
But then they end up too far to the right.
You're too close to the right bank now. Turn to the left.
Yes, I agree. Turn to the left.
Look, this
Oh my god.
is all a bit tense. And we both
A
know
little bit.
where this is going. It's gonna crash. Let's just enjoy it.
Okay.
Oh, wow. There it is. A gently sloping sandy bank. Red Pilot, we're just consultants.
Also, just the thing, right? It's like sandy around here, and there's apparently wind issues that keep happening in this area. So you would think that they would have, like, do they do a lot of upkeep to the canal? Because, like, they constantly have sand blowing into the canal, right? Which would change the depth of the canal over time, right?
This isn't our job to steer the ship. You're micromanaging. We should only be giving general navigation advice. We're getting too close to the left bank. I can't keep it centered. We have to slow this ship down.
If we slow down, the wind will push us into the bank.
What do I do?
Reduce
Go
the speed.
faster.
The two pilots begin bickering. And not
Oh,
just bickering
Lord.
normally. They're bickering in Arabic. Arabickering.
Arabic.
Capital's crew doesn't speak Arabic. What the hell are they saying? I don't.
What is going on? Are we going to die? That's how I feel.
Neither do I. Does anyone here speak Arabic?
They have to dredge it back to spec quite often. Okay.
The Ever Given has reached its target speed of 22 kilometers an hour, but they're taking wider and wider turns and can't seem to get
shit.
anywhere near the center of the lane. And the two pilots, they're still fighting. Captain? Captain! Pilots! Captain! The Ever Given then reaches an extreme, unrecoverable angle, pointing acutely to the right, straight for the bank.
Here it goes. Welcome.
We need to turn left. Now. Hard left.
Hard to the left.
Hard to the left.
The rudder turns, but the ship doesn't turn with it.
It's too late. And also, the wind might be hitting you here now, and it might be pushing this part forward. Because that's how wind works.
Instead, it slides. Didn't I tell you to
Time to drift this bitch.
turn left?
Why aren't we turning? I am turning to the left, Captain. The ship's not responding.
I knew this would happen. It's your fault. The helmsman loses his ability to steer. The ship has gone out of control.
Is this three houses lady doing here? What is Fire Emblem? It's Fates. It's not three houses. What is Fire Emblem lady doing here? Why is she welcoming into her bosom? That's so funny.
Captain.
Canterville finally steps forward. Enough! Helmsman, center the rudder. Reduce speed. Rudder center. Reduce...
But it's too late.
Too late.
Canterville did not intervene in time.
Shit.
According to a person familiar with the VDR audio, Captain Canterville reacted as anyone might in the same situation. Shit, he screamed. 6 days in Suez, the inside story of the ship that broke global trade. Kit Chalel, Matthew Campbell, and Kay Oanha, maybe? Oh my god.
The crew can feel the vibration through the floor as the bow meets the bank.
Yup.
That bow, raised 6 meters, slides into the bank with ease, like a hot pencil through pudding.
Does the pencil have to be hot to go through pudding easily? It's pudding.
Meanwhile, the rear of the ship is pulled into the opposite bank. The bridge shakes and the crew lurches forward as 300,000 tons of momentum is reduced to 0 in the span of a couple of seconds.
Oh, God.
We've run aground! We've run aground! Cut your engines! Canterville yells out on the radio, because don't forget, these ships are running as a convoy, which means that the ships behind them have just seen what's happened, and they all have to slam on the brakes.
And hope they don't get hit.
The Asia Ruby 3 suffers an engine malfunction,
Oh, no.
and it cannot stop as quickly as it intends to, and nearly plows into the back of the Maersk Denver. They manage to stop themselves just in time and prevent running aground as well.
Pan back to the Ever Given. Let us look at it from above. It is diagonally wedged across the entire canal. An unplanned bridge connecting 2 continents. A ship collision of such magnitude.
This is a real satellite photograph of the ship shortly after the crash.
There's almost nothing to compare it to. Maybe Hindenburg?
Maybe Hindenburg.
9/11? I'll keep Googling.
Hold off on the dramatic sound effects. There's no need to panic just yet. It's like a car
The Uber Eats bags on the ground.
tire stuck in the mud. We simply reverse. Full astern. Well, that means full backwards. Propeller.
Buddy, the back of your ship is also aground. Where you thinking you're going to be able to reverse to?
Is at the back of the ship whiz to little effect. Locked in place by the sand. We didn't move.
Merely a run-up. Crash astern.
That's the most dramatic version of full astern, ramping up to full thrust as quickly as possible. Nothing. No, stop it. No sound effect just yet. We still have one more option. Start up the bow thrusters. They're the jets at the front of the ship that give a little bit of extra oomph. Crash astern, full thrusters.
Nope. You have nowhere to
No
go.
effect, sir. Now, we don't have the
Not the Among Us sounds.
transcript from here, so we'll just presume that at the time, Canterville said something very quirky and millennial, like,
So that just happened.
But what we do know is that he and the pilots then jumped on the radio and got in contact with the Port Authority. We've got something to tell you, and you gotta promise not to get mad. Shut up. Look, listen, we're gonna need a tugboat.
We are run aground.
The helmsman takes a turn at being millennial.
There are other ships right behind me, aren't there?
Yes, buddy.
Uh-huh.
And there were, as the queue of container ships piling up behind them got longer and longer. Make that 2 tugboats.
Ah ha 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 ha.
So what happened here exactly? And who is in big, big trouble? Explainer time!
There are 3 main causes to why the ship crashed.
Weather. I feel like weather's a big one.
Let's start with the wind. The captain could have very easily said, guys, the wind is far too severe. Let's postpone. But he didn't. However, the blame's not all on Canterville. The 2 pilots could have also said, let's just follow protocol. By radioing in to HQ and saying, yes, get us 2 tugboats, please. With 1 on each side at the front, they would have had far more stability and control. And they wouldn't need to erratically fight about with the wind to stay in the middle of the lane. Second cause, the speed of the ship. Now, it was the red pilot who told the helmsman, accelerate the ship to 22 kilometers per hour. But when he did that, they were already driving at the speed limit for their weight class, 14 kilometers per hour. And telling the helmsman to go beyond that meant that they are technically breaking the rules.
Not the
And while
rules.
I agree that some rules are made to be broken, going this fast in a very large ship in a comparatively small canal causes a whole bunch of problems to do with fluid dynamics. Big problems. Huge.
5 fun physics phenomena.
Now, I don't know the physics, and if I
Google the bank effect. Zones of high and low pressure caused by quick displacement of water causes the ship to be pulled towards the bank at the rear of the ship and repelled from it at the front. The closer the ship is to the bank, the stronger this effect. This results in a consistent diagonal force that ultimately makes your ship overcorrect at every turn. Think of it like the reverse of when you go too slowly on a bike and it gets all wobbly. It's nothing like that, but it's a fun image. Okay.
I wouldn't tell you. But what I will say is this. Speeding up causes something approximating oversteer. The ship becomes all slidey. I'm just going to turn a little bit to the left, but instead you go a lot to the left. I'll just turn right a little bit, but instead you turn to the right a lot. Remember how the cheerful navigator was like, come on guys, we have to get back to the center of the lane. Well, they can't, because every time they try to direct back to the center, the speed and the oversteer means they overshoot it. One more effect of going very fast.
I will sneeze. Wait for it.
Take a look at this animation side on. Water pressure effects cause the ship to tilt. At this speed, the front is raised 6 meters higher than usual, which means when they collide with the bank, combined with the high velocity, they really wedge themselves in. But we can't just blame everything on the physicists, because there's a third main cause. Poor communication.
There it is.
English is the official language of pretty much every port. However, the pilots start arguing with each other. Official language of.
Okay, to avoid such confusion, in 1983, a group of linguists and shipping experts caused a new system of communication called Sea-Speak. English was chosen as the principal lexicon for Sea-Speak because it is the most common language spoken on ships at the time, and importantly, it is also the language of civil aviation. In 1988, the International Maritime Organization made Sea-Speak the official language of the seas.
Pretty much every port. However, the pilots start arguing with each other in Arabic, which is not just unprofessional, but excludes all of the rest of the crew from what's being discussed. And all of these competing voices make for chaos on the bridge. But the blame is not all on the co-pilots either. The captain is always in charge. He has the ultimate authority. Decisions start and end with him.
When a vessel is transiting the canal, the master or his qualified representative should be present at all times on the bridge where they are responsible for the control and management of the vessel. The master or his qualified representative has to keep the pilot informed of any individual peculiarities and handling of the vessel so that the pilot might be in a position to give better advice to control the navigation and movement of the vessel.
So the captain should have intervened and said something like, "Shut up, everybody."
Wow.
But he doesn't. He stands there quite passively throughout. By the time he does step in, it's too late.
Well,
now that everything's been laid out, who would you say is at fault for the crash of the Ever Given?
Everybody.
The helmsman? Blue pilot? The red pilot? Canthaville? I'll tell you. Society. That's
oh no.
You and me. And I think you should apologize.
No. You said it's you and me, which means it's also you. Why are you apologizing? Day 1.
Alrighty. So we have something 3.5 times the size of the Titanic, choking the world's largest freighting canal like a greedy seagull throating a glue stick. Good
glue
start.
Stick, okay.
And they didn't get very far through the canal itself. About 5% of the progress bar. But if we scroll up for a second, we can see what landmarks they missed out on. The Great Bitter Lake. Named so because
bitter and salty is being used interchangeably here. Obviously, before the canal was created, it was a dry salt basin.
the water there is very salty instead of fresh. Then up a 2-lane bit and over to Timsah Lake. Named so because Timsah is the Arabic word for crocodile, because there used to be
There are no crocodiles at the lake nowadays. During prehistoric times, it may have been the natural end point of the Red Sea.
crocodiles in there. Otherwise, it's pretty much zip right through to the Mediterranean. That would have been very nice for them.
Wait. Some people consider the Mediterranean Sea to be one of the wettest places on Earth.
Now we go back a bit to Timsah Lake. And here you'll find the city of Ismailia. And at its port, see this building? This is the Suez Canal Authority. Inside, Captain El Said, head of navigational control, is just settling in for the day. As he sits down to his desk, Captain, you're gonna want to see this. The video feed.
Hey, bud. How's it going? Good morning. Hey, so I'm heading out, and I just want to let you know as I walk out the door that there has been a problem. A ship has run aground and wedged itself, and it is completely blocking the canal. Anyway, good luck. Have a good day, bud. See you Monday.
Pulls up. What? 1. We're stuck. We'd like to request a tugboat. Stuck? Stuck where? You know that single-lane area pretty close to the entrance? There. Now, had this happened in one of the 2-lane sections, they could have kept the traffic flowing. But alas.
Nope.
What? So you're blocking all the traffic? Mr. El Said, we already promised we wouldn't get mad. Fine. I
didn't promise shit. I'm getting mad. What do you mean? I wasn't here when you promised shit.
Let's see how bad it is in person. El Said snatches
In
the keys off
person?
his desk
All right.
and he races down to his car, rushing to the scene. He gets out and casts his eyes upon the ship. My God. Towering over him is a structure the width and breadth of the world's largest Walmart, except it is also 15 stories tall.
Yep.
The bow, raised 6 meters higher than normal, is jammed into one side, like an unwitting finger in a Chinese finger trap that somebody filled with Gorilla Glue in its prom tomorrow. The ass of the ship, firmly squatting aground on the other side. and the middle of the ship making bended metal groans as it's barely suspended by only a few meters of water.
Al Said lets the sand run through his fingers.
We assume.
At this point, another important person arrives on the scene. Admiral Raby. He is the Suez Canal Authority chairman, the big boss of the whole canal. Here's the rough structure
And he's like, what the fuck is this? Why did this happen?
of the organization. He's all the way up here, right?
Oh no.
So high up that he reports directly to the Pharaoh of Egypt himself.
Yep, that's one blocked canal. No, Mr. President, he didn't say blocked.
It's blocked.
He said that canal rocked. He's giving it a 5-star review. Come on, follow me to the bridge. Now, Al Said and Raby board the ship, and it's a hell of a scene. The crew is racing around. Oh God, they're gonna check the nav data. They're gonna see the dick pic. Oh God. Canterville's standing back taking a panicked phone call with the operating company. Okay, so 2 pilots walk into a ship, and the first one says, and the 2 pilots from before are still...
After giving their account of the accident, the 2 SCA pilots who'd been on the Ever Given's bridge prepared to disembark. As they did so, they continued to bicker, according to lawsuit evidence that's disputed by the SCA.
Bickering. All right, you 2 are dismissed. Canterville.
Oh God, this is the end of my career. This is gonna cost $1 billion.
Al Said puts his hand on Canterville's
Valid.
shoulder. Do not worry, my friend. We shall solve this.
Come on, Captain. What's the status? Well, the ship isn't floating. Yeah. No, what I mean is the situation is worse than you think. It's the way we're pitched up on the shore. The weight distribution is all wrong. We're like a raised bridge, but we don't have any of the support underneath. The middle of the ship
that's
could
so
bend
bad.
under its own weight and tear.
So it could sink?
Yeah.
That would shut down the whole canal for months.
Are we taking on water? No, I've had the engineers check the hull. We can't see water making ingress anywhere. Yet. The best way to get free and the best way to prevent the ship from potentially sinking is to lighten the load. We need to get rid of at least, I don't know, like 20,000 tons. How quickly do you think your crew can offload containers? No. Look how high those boxes are stacked. To offload these containers is going to require specialist equipment. The kind you'd only find at a dedicated port. We're not going to be able to offload these containers out here in the middle of nowhere. All right, well, it's the easiest, most brute force solution you can think of. The ballast tanks. Yeah? Go on. We've got nearly 10,000 tons of ballast.
Ballast water is held in reserve. Okay. Ballast water is held in reserve tanks on a ship to add weight, stability, and control balance.
Water on board. We can dump that right now and relieve some pressure.
Excellent idea. I'll get started.
No, you can't do that. Well, why not?
Allow me to explain.
Hi?
When a ship fills its ballast tanks, it's filling with more than just water.
It's a big, dilute, salty soup of algae, plant material, and even sometimes small fish. Pick that up in Malaysia, and then just dump that at the next port.
You're introducing these stowaway pests.
Organisms can naturally migrate over long periods, but hitching a ride via ballast water helps invasive species overcome natural barriers like currents, changes in temperature, salinity, etc.
Species into the environment. Some examples of these invasive species include the northern Pacific sea star.
Their larvae get into the ballast water rather than the whole starfish, but then they grow and prey on native fish eggs.
The European green crab.
Preys on native shellfish artificially introduced into the U.S. in the 1950s and caused all sorts of costly problems.
That son of a bitch. And cholera.
Attaches to other microorganisms commonly found in raw sewage.
So you have to treat the water before...
Damien, Invasave port-based ballast water management system world premiere.
You discharge it, usually through heat or chemicals. And the key there is that it also requires time and access to one of these treatment machines. And we're not at a port. It's going to take much longer than usual. But let me get onto the line with the guys at Ismailia.
The Ever Given almost certainly has a ballast water treatment system installed as it was built in 2018. Likely high capacity filtration and or UV or electrochlorination during the Suez incident. The salvage teams used. It's hard to see. Hold on.
We have a portable water treatment machine somewhere. Let me get onto the line with the guys at Ismailia. We probably have a portable
Used external pumps to.
somewhere.
Oh, god damn it. This is so hard to read because of where it's located. I want to read it. Okay. External pumps to something to expedite removal. Possibly bypassing the BWTS with treatment handled separately. There are very few sources talking about this, so we're guessing, but as things developed, it won't matter.
Where? Al Said turns and looks out the window. Coming down the canal
Listen, I'm trying.
are 2 tugboats, the ones that they ordered earlier. Look, we might not even be that deeply wedged in. These 2 tugboats might be all we need. Yes, tugboats.
This is the Mosaid 2 and the Mosaid 3.
These 2 little guys are...
By coincidence, this also happens to be the ship that was directly in front of the Ever Given in the convoy at the time. Costco shipping Galaxy breaks away from Flexsto as showers pass through.
able to pull around this massive cargo ship, comparable in size to the Ever Given. On go the ties. Line secure, all fast. Engine ready. Ready to pull. Canterville looks nervously at El Said. Commence pull. Slow ahead.
The polyethylene ropes whine as they're pulled taut from the water. The tugboats lightly draw against the ship, testing for resistance.
All right, a little more. More.
I wonder if they had a tugboat in the back pulling the back of it in the opposite direction. Like it's slanted, right? So like one pulls like the front this direction and the back that direction, kind of making a circle. I wonder if that would have been more effective.
More. Full power. Nothing. Not an inch of difference.
All right, stop engines. Be on standby. This isn't going to work. With just 2 tugboats, we do not have the pull for a ship this massive.
But how do you get to the back if there are tugboats? Okay, so it depends on how many tugboats the SCA has and where they are located along the canal, right? So they could have some stationed near the Gulf to help ships enter into the canal, right? So that would be behind them. So, but I don't know about this, right? But that could have been behind them. So they could have had like more come in and like go around the boats because they're pretty small. Like tugboats are relatively small in comparative to these big shipping containers or shipping ships, I guess. But I don't know any of this because I don't know where their tugboats are located.
It's deeply grounded. It's also low tide. That's not helping. Wind's high tide. Early afternoon, in a couple of hours. All right, that buys us some time. How soon do you think you can get a dredger out here? Let me find out for you. Please hold. The dredgers can remove the sand below the waterline that's all built up around the ship. Hi again. They say it'll take a day, maybe 2. All right, tell them to hurry.
A day or 2? I'd better update my boss. Let him know it's not gonna be a quick fix.
I should call my wife as well. All right, don't go too far. I need you for something in a minute. Hey, what about excavators? Oh yeah, how many we got? Right now? No, for my birthday. Yeah, now. 1.
Oof.
1 guy. There's only 1 excavator on standby for the whole canal. Well, it's just post-COVID. Everyone's been excavating from home. Patch me through.
From home.
There really was just 1 guy, by the way. It's local contractor Abdullah. So he picks up the phone. Mushy mushy.
There's been a accident at the canal, Abdullah. There's sand and dirt everywhere. I need your help.
Just send me the deets, Choom. Abdullah jumps in his truck and heads to the scene.
Let's go. In his little like K truck looking thing.
Pulls up. Gut in Himmel. He sees the massive Ever Given wedged into the canal.
I'd be like, what What am I supposed to do about that? I'm one little guy. Listen, I look like a toy. Okay? Compared to this thing. What?
No. Abdullah locks himself into his excavator and gets to work on the most important task he's ever done digged.
Done digged. Oh, look at him go. Bless.
Back on the bridge. Yeah, I'm not sure. Hopefully home soon. Okay. Yep, no, love you too. Okay, bye. Whew, the boss was not happy. Hey, before you said you needed me for something. I did. Who's this?
Breathe into this tube.
Also, you have to do a drug test. After the crash, they tested Canterville for drugs and alcohol. Both came up negative. There's also a procedure to make sure that captains aren't fatigued. They look at the rest schedule and they find, no, Canterville took that nap. Remember? He's had plenty of rest time. So he passed the fatigue assessment. And while Canterville was at the nurse's office, high tide came and went. Tugs were tried again. And again. Tried a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It didn't work. All day trying, all evening, and into the early morning. But that stubborn ship was going nowhere.
I really feel a lot of it has to do with how these are shaped. So the front of it was very much stuck because of the way it is shaped. Like it is very just locked on in there. And then the back of it was also kind of just locked in there because that's shit heavy and that was sand. Day 2. And then they went and they uncovered some stuff and they looted it.
Of course. The moon.
What?
Day 2.
Is it the tides?
There's quite a queue of ships by this point, and they're all honking their horns impatiently. Hey, move your ass! I got Frozens in the back. Go around! Go around!
No one
That's
knows
funny.
quite what's happening because the Suez Canal Authority has not made a formal statement. But their hand is about to be forced when an impatient sailor behind the Ever Given takes a photograph and publishes it online.
Ship in front of us ran aground while going through the canal and is now stuck sideways. Looks like we might be here for a little bit. Suez Canal, run aground, stuck. Miss Scuttlebutt.
And this starts a bit of a buzz on social media. It was at this very moment that the helmsman's most feared fear was most realized. Someone pulled up the navigational data. Within 24 hours, it was all over.
Cargo ship Ever Given follows penis shape pattern before getting wedged in Suez Canal. He wasn't doing anything bad at this point. He was just like, it's windy and I'm just kind of drifting around. Like, whatever.
The news. So over at the Suez offices, Mr. Rebbe, you have 300 voicemails. Telemarketers? Important clients and journalists. They're asking about whether the canal is blocked, aren't they? They're asking about whether the canal is blocked, yes. And the Suez Canal Authority could keep it a secret no longer.
They held a press conference. Okay. This is crazy. Let's say, hypothetically.
They didn't give many details, but it was a very inspirational press conference. The news begins reporting on the story.
It's blocked. Cargo ship blocking the Suez Canal is a huge container ship.
There's just the most incredible drama playing out in the Suez Canal.
A massive container ship longer than the Eiffel Tower.
It's one of the world's most important shipping lanes.
And breaking news from the Nana Star News Channel. I'm Nana. Mega ship's big ass is stuck in the Suez Canal.
Right. The story exploded everywhere. There was a lot of
Suez Canal owner of cargo ship blocks waterway apologizes. The Japanese owner of the giant cargo ship that has been blocking Egypt's Suez Canal since Tuesday has apologized for the disruption to global trade. Said it was going to resolve the situation as soon as possible, but that dislodging the Ever Given was proving extremely difficult.
Sympathy to go around.
I appeal to have blocked global trade.
And the internet, upon seeing it, went, these guys need some help.
The internet, upon seeing it, was like, this might as well happen. We're going to make memes out of it because that's the only way we can really deal with all the stuff that keeps getting shoved at us. So why not?
We would love to volunteer.
There's that picture of a naked woman. I need to help them.
They knew best about what to do to get this ship unstuck. All right, it's time for the I reckon you could pretty much just do this and it'd work section. By far
Hell
the
yeah.
most popular solution was simply blow.
Why don't they just blow up the boat after rescuing the crew that is blocking the Suez Canal? Wouldn't that loss be smaller as compared to the loss happening every day? Why don't they just bomb, dismantle, or somehow sink the ship? Considering the massive damage it's causing to the economy, wouldn't that be a rational, albeit violent, choice? Why don't we just strap bombs to the ship and blow up the ship? Can France nuke the cargo ship? It's like, even if you did that, you can't sink it. The water is like 2 inches high. Like, it's more than 2 inches, obviously, but like, it's, no one can get past it until they get rid of the ship, no matter what state it is in, because the water is so shallow there. No, fun fact about France, and France is the only one I know about that does this. So every country has like a whole thing about like quote unquote like warning shots and shit like that, right? France, especially in like when it comes to like nuclear stuff, France is the only one whose warning shot might be an actual nuke. I need you to absorb that for a minute. Like, France's warning shot could be a nuke. And they're like the only one that is like that. So that is why they're like, can France nuke it? So that is why. That's...
Blow it up. No ship, no problem. But how wouldn't this work?
Oh my god.
Well, first, you're blowing up $1 billion worth of cargo. And this thing wouldn't this work? Well, first, you're blowing...
Sneakers, couches, wallpaper, kayaks, livestock. Here's what's stuck on the Suez Canal and what it means for consumers. A wide array of goods are stranded in vessels stuck in the Suez Canal after the Ever Given container ran aground on Tuesday, further aggravating global supply chains that are already hampered by the COVID pandemic.
Blowing up $1 billion worth of cargo. And this thing is about 3 times the size of Mount Rushmore. So there's quite a lot of debris to sweep up, actually. And you still haven't solved the problem of moving the thing out of the fucking canal.
Yeah.
Next idea. What if we attach 1,000 helicopters and simply... Next idea.
Yeah.
What if...
The Ever Given, the ship, weighs approximately 200,000 tons. A powerful lift helicopter can carry 15 tons. So just the 13,000 powerful lift helicopters I checked.
We attach 1,000 helicopters and simply fly the thing out. You could even take it all the way to its destination in the Netherlands. Well, the problem is this thing weighs about 300,000 tons. So even if you had a really powerful helicopter...
The chin hook is capable of carrying 32 troops or slinging a 12-ton load.
You're going to need like 25,000 of them. And you can't put them all together in one area or they'll all crash.
Many helicopters in close proximity would also cause chaotic and unpredictable airflow. This turbulent air would reduce their ability to generate lift. Even if they could stay in the air, their lifting capacity would be shot. It would be fun to watch, though.
Ain't gonna work.
En route to help. Hey, maybe pull up a bit.
Next. Well, seriously, why don't we take a whole bunch of old jet engines, weld them to the sides of the ship, turn them all on at once, and whee, the day is saved.
Oh my god.
However, there is a risk of an explosion.
Nah, it'll be okay.
And then you'd have a hole in the ship.
This would kind of work. You'd need a lot of jet engines and to weld them all to parts of the ship that were structurally stable enough to withstand the force. But by the time you did all that, you could have 50 tugboats ready to go, effectively doing the same job, but with more control.
And then the ship sinks, and then you're really never moving it. Hear me out. Liquid nitrogen.
Insider, business insider, pump liquid nitrogen under the boat for about 3/4 of the length in the center of the length, whereas the ice formation under the boat will lift it up enough to tug it. Spin it free. What? About that one. That one's insane.
A lot of liquid nitrogen right under the boat. The water freezes, expands, the ship lifts up. Bob's your uncle. You love it. Except now, the ship is just stuck in ice. And then it melts, and then you're back to the exact same position. Also, you need like $1 billion worth of nitrogen. There's no way to get that much material, let alone handle the scale of that material. Also, everyone's going to freeze to death on board.
While the least practical, the solution would be, scientifically speaking, the most fun.
And the ballast will expand in the tanks, and that'll destroy the ship. It's not going to work. All right.
Put on your 3D glasses, guys.
Best idea.
Hold on. I don't have that toggle anymore. Damn it. Wait, yes I do. 3D glasses on!
What if we just actively made things worse? Such as this petition to add a second boat to the canal.
Oh, you turned it off. There you go. Put another one on there. Put another, be fine. Put slippery banana skins in a U shape so the boat can easily be pulled out and back into the water.
Aside, one humble comment did stand out from the crowd.
Get a few people on this side, a few people on that side, push it, and I really think it would go.
Well, maybe.
Push it, guys.
That's exactly what the recovery team intended to do. Ahoy! Ah, good to see you back from the nurse. I told them I didn't do any drugs, but they wouldn't take my word for it. I would have believed you. Hey, just give me the walkie-talkie. All right, full ahead with the explanations.
Cheer 100, why don't we take Bikini Bottom and push it somewhere else?
Yeah, why don't we just push it? Guys, just push it. It's fine.
3 more excavators join Abdullah, and they are all busily digging out the front and rear of the
Look at how shallow those little buckets look.
ship. It's still going too slow. What else we got? More rescue stuff. So here comes Rabbi pulling up to the scene. Good news, fellas. And he's standing atop a very powerful bit of kit. A big, beautiful dredger. To be specific, a cutter suction dredge.
This dredger is named the 10th of Ramadan. A second larger dredger called the Mashur will join the effort soon too.
Essentially, you've got a big rotating cutting tool that loosens up all the soil, while a big suction pipe sends it yonder. All right, do the dredgy. Full speed. What else we got? We got more tugboats incoming. More and more tugboats join the fray. A total of 8, arranged around the ship like this. Notably, the Baraka 1 and the Izzat Adel. These are 2 of the most powerful tugboats in the Middle East, and that includes the non-deserty parts. Full ahead with those. They keep trying. A cacophony of engines playing the highest stakes game of tug-of-war ever attempted. Tens of millions of dollars being lost every hour until it was won. And their opponent? Unbothered, moisturized, taking up the whole lane. Unbudgeable. All right, we're calling it for now. Oh, El Said, we've thrown everything we can at the ship, and it won't concede an inch.
You haven't thrown helicopters or dynamite at it yet.
It's hopeless, hopeless. The cynicism of youth. I've worked for many years on the Suez. There's magic in the water, Canterville. Magic. We will succeed.
All right.
Your words are empty, El Said. Optimism has blinded you, El Said. We cannot defeat the Canal. It is simply too powerful. If I were the guys at Case and Kaisha, I'd just forget about the Ever Given and buy a new ship.
Oh,
well, we can't afford a new ship. The owners of the Ever Given show
Evergreen is the operating company. Shoei Kaisen Kaisha owns the ship, but it was actually the insurers of the ship who insisted the owners take the following action. Okay.
Shoei Kaisen Kaisha Limited are getting very worried. I need that ship back, and I can't just leave it to the Suez Canal Authority to do it.
There's only one team daring and foolhardy enough to take on a job like this.
The A-Team!
Kaisen calls up an elite salvaging company from the Netherlands.
Smit Salvage.
Okay.
We need your help. I got your number from you know who.
The Yellow Pages.
Industry's best. They have response centers all over the globe, 24/7, ready to respond to marine emergencies. And funnily enough, they're the same team that helped with the rescue of the Costa Concordia back in 2012.
Oh.
Suit up, boys. They put the ocean in Ocean's 11, the tide in Tide Pod. And sometimes they pee in the water. Why not? The fish do it.
We're en route to the canal. ETA.
Smit Salvage probably doesn't operate in a shadowy underwater facility where they bide their time waiting for the next big caper. They also promise that after this one last job, they're out.
In the next 24 hours.
No. Okay. No. Oh. Well.
Next time on Boat in Canal. The prophecy. It's coming true. Kiss me, you fool. I'm beginning to think you don't want to get the boat free. Well, is it the Yanny wire or the Laurel wire?
Laurel.
I couldn't hear you. You're breaking up.
All right.
There's only one way this was ever gonna go.
Okay. To be continued.
It's
Right the fuck now. Let's go.
Now day 3. There's more digging, more tugging, but the ship is still exactly where they left it. And the slow pace of progress is starting to cause problems for international trade. Each delayed ship represents thousands of tons of undelivered stock for store shelves. And that queue is getting longer
and it was already bad because of COVID.
And longer. On board, an estimated 9.6 billion.
The stranded Ever Given mega container ship in the Suez Canal is holding up an estimated $9.6 billion worth of goods each day, according to shipping data.
$1 billion worth of goods is sitting idle. The milk! It will spoil! And the big question is, how long until this thing is fixed? To answer this burning question, the Suez Canal Authority holds another press conference and declares, Guys, another day, maybe 2, might even be this afternoon. But the media and industry experts...
It might take weeks to free the stuck ship.
disagree.
Fears grow the effort to free the ship could take weeks.
The truth of the matter is that they're not making much ground. I mean, is this proving to be more difficult than originally expected?
Could be closed for weeks.
Could take weeks.
Could be stuck for weeks.
Weeks. That's how long it could take to free the container.
Didn't some of the ships turn around and start going around Africa? Did I imagine that?
Oh, 4 months already.
Derby, thank you for the resubscription. Appreciate you. Didn't they start going around?
Container ship currently blocking the Suez Canal.
So that means all of these ship operators here, waiting in the queue, have a very difficult choice to make. So basically, I've just got 2 options. One, I can wait around hoping the ship gets unstuck, which nobody knows how long that's going to be. Or option 2, we go all the way around Africa. And I really don't want to do that, and it's not just a geographic thing. Freighters don't want to go around Africa because it will cost
What do you mean?
them far more in terms of fuel. It adds 10 extra days to the route. And most importantly, pirates.
Pirates,
Yeah, okay, fair.
assassins, and gay pirate assassins.
Now,
And gay
there are
pirate
2 main
assassins.
pirate hangouts. The Somali pirates, everyone knows about them.
But the more prolific group is actually in the Gulf of Guinea.
Named so because it holds the Guinness World Record for most pirates.
In
No,
fact,
it's not.
in 2020,
Cargo ships taking the long way around Africa to avoid blocked Suez Canal risk crime-infested waters. According to the International Maritime Bureau, there were 135 maritime kidnappings recorded in 2020. 130 occurred in the Gulf of Guinea. Jesus.
96% of all maritime kidnappings happened in the Gulf of Guinea.
Jesus.
That doesn't sound very good to me, Mr. Kaisha. Oh, and I just want you to know that you've made an enemy. Oh, and when I...
Okay.
Is your boat running? Because you better fucking move it. You can't park there. All right, hear me out. I'm thinking a bunch of helicopters, right? And we...
There are a lot of people now who are
That's-
angry with
that's
the
very
owners
funny.
of the Ever Given. There's only one thing I can do. Bing, 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 bong. Breaking news. Pause for a second.
Shoei Kaisen Kaisha is big sorry. The owners of the Ever Given feel such enormous pressure that they go live on television to make a public apology. We are determined to keep on working hard
We apologize for blocking the traffic and causing the tremendous trouble and worry to many people, including the involved parties.
to resolve the situation as soon as possible.
This actually happened on March 27th, but that would mess with the flow of the story.
Please do not be mad.
We are aiming to refloat the ship around evening in Japanese Standard Time, March 28th.
In a few years, we'll all have a big laugh about it.
Yours sincerely, Mr. Kaisha.
Kaisha means company. Oh, shoot. His actual name is Yukito Iogaki, and he is the president of Shoisei Kaisen Kaisha.
Oh God, that's the boss of my boss's boss. I'm in so much trouble. Can't do anything about it. All we can do is keep trying to free the ship. So they keep going. And going. Into the night.
Yep. Which is all they can really do.
And on that night, Canterville and El Said had a heart-to-heart. The mood was very somber.
Still feeling optimistic, El Said?
Of course. Well, it's day 3. How much progress have you seen so far?
They're gonna blow us up, aren't they?
No.
It's possible. They're gonna
Possible.
freeze us, aren't they? That seems less likely. They might just attach a whole bunch of jet engines and we're gonna get fucked up.
That one got debunked. Sorry, I don't mean to take it out on you. It's just, all these guys, they rely on me. The navigator, the helmsman, Gene, and the other ones we never animated. But
Or
I'm
gave
thinking
names
maybe I
to.
should just get on a lifeboat right now and never look back. I could go live on an island somewhere, far, far away from here. Run away? Look at this. Timu neck massager for Saily. I bet she's checking her mailbox every morning. Bulk $6 fingerless gloves for Mr. Poe Box. You want to disappoint him? No. Little Jimmy won't be getting his 20-pack of kitchen tongs this Christmas. And you think that doesn't kill me inside? But we've exhausted every option. There's nothing on Earth that could free this ship. Well, that's where you're right. Look up there, Lil Canthy.
What the fuck is this?
Said points up into the night sky. Los Lunos.
Yes, the moon. The son of the night. To the ancient Egyptians, it was a sign of hope. And in a few more nights' time, a prophecy will be fulfilled. The supermoon. I have to show you a kind of boring diagram. I'm so sorry.
You see, the moon doesn't just orbit the Earth in a perfectly equidistant circle. It is, in
Also, the Earth isn't a perfect sphere, by the way, in case you didn't know.
fact an ellipse. That means there is a point when the moon is the furthest from the Earth, and we call that the apogee. And there's also a point where it's closest to the Earth. That's the perigee. You know when you look into the night sky and the moon seems bigger or smaller than usual? Different distances, innit?
Point is, the moon gravities all over the water. And the closer it is, the more it's going to pull.
Now, there's another effect as well. If you believe the mainstream media, the Earth is going around the Sun like this. And once in a while, it will also align with the Sun being on the exact opposite side. Bam! At this point, when everything lines up like so, both the Sun and the Moon are at max strength pulling on the sea. And they call that the supermoon. And the tidal effects of both combine for an even greater pull. High tide can be even higher than usual, sometimes by up to 1.5 feet. Now, these sorts of moons only happen 3 or 4 times a year. But in 4 days, Big K, we're going to get one.
I mean, that might legitimately help, though.
Previously on Boat in Canal. Don't let go! Ha ha ha, my plans have all fallen into place. I thought I knew what being a captain meant. What do you mean, cut the black and blue wire? There's only white and gold!
Oh no.
We've got one chance left. The moon. This is just like that Costa Concordia video he did, but way less funny.
I don't know. I'm very much enjoying this, to be honest with you.
Over at the Ever Given, things are...
Therefore.
But online, there's a bit of a new development. A screenshot of a news article appears. Cargo ship crashes into Suez Canal. Captain involved in incident. But there's a twist. Uh-oh. Is that a woman? A woman? Egypt's first female sea captain, Marwa El-Sahar, was being named in this headline as responsible for crashing the Ever Given.
Why?
And the screenshot of this news headline spread all across social media. For Marwa to have screwed up this badly is impressive. Especially considering she's never worked on the Ever Given and is currently hundreds of miles away in Alexandria.
That's some bullshit.
Someone online went, first female captain?
Not on my watch.
Grody? Suez blockage? She must have did it. Marwa found out about the accusations through a friend and quickly hopped online. I gotta clear my name. Guys, it isn't me! But the online bad guys must have hacked her account, because everything she wrote just came.
Rough translation: the news that I commanded the ship that blocked the Suez Canal is not true. I was subjected to a systematic smear campaign. I'm currently working on a ship called Ida.
Out in squiggles. So Marwa tried to hack back.
It was in squiggles.
This code.
Oh my god.
It's nothing I've ever seen before.
This hacking scene is the one true event that happened in the whole story. Trust me, bro.
Countering my hack. I'm gonna reroute the hosting. Not if I can help it. They're in through the firewall. Use IP4.
I'm just waiting for this to be a VPN commercial. Like, I'm just waiting for this.
It's better. Now, while we can all agree that a lady captain is very gross and icky, and while we all agree that she should be doing a lady job, like adding rosemary oil to the ballast water, or knitting hand warmers for the steering wheel. It was not fair that she was being falsely accused. And the situation was escalating as the online bad guys started making fake accounts pretending to be her. What was Marwa, etc. to do against such a coordinated campaign? Well, luckily, a surprise hero to the story. The mainstream media showed up and did a thing.
Death Stranding 2 is truly a return to form for both Strand likes and Strand lights.
Don't worry.
Bringing her onto the telly and clearing everything up. Marwa even found some positive in the situation.
I was really upset at the beginning, but later on I found like the support from all people around me, and that made me feel like more grateful for what happened.
A lot of the social media posts got taken down. And in the end, it all turned out okay. At least, for her.
Yeah, they're still doing
Back
this.
to the Ever Given. The Ever Given has been grounded.
Like, it is so insane how big these ships are, and you don't think about it until you see pictures of them, right? Like, there's a lot of pictures out there of, like, these ships near, like, people's houses and shit, because people live near water, funny enough, right? And people live near ports. And so, like, you will see, like, a house or something, and then, like, in the background of the house is just this giant ship. It's so weird to me.
Grounded for 4 long Egyptian days.
96
So tug. Dig, dig. Pull.
Hope.
Fuel is getting low. Everyone is overdue for a break. All right, guys. Grab a Red Bull and a little snacky. We'll pick up again soon.
A snacky.
But as the engines wind down, the crew can hear something approaching. Who the hell is that? It's Smit Salvage. The Smit team boldly actions onto the scene, looking at the ship very inspectively.
Stuck.
They report their findings to the rescue team. All right, I ain't no boat expert, but if you want a chance of moving this ship, you're going to need to make it a lot lighter, by tens of thousands of tons at least. Is it going to bend and tear? And sink? No, it doesn't look like it's going to do that. But it also doesn't look like it's going anywhere with all of this weight on the back. Okay, we trust you. What's your plan to make the ship lighter? I know a guy. He's got a crane. I'll get it down here. We'll offload all the containers. It'll be
Bloomberg in the sources list does a bit better job explaining this back and forth.
brilliant. You're gonna love it. The container thing again? Yeah, how long is that gonna take? Well, to get them down here and to get all the equipment assembled, we're going to need at least a few weeks. Weeks? Yeah, and to get all the containers off the ship, that might take several months.
Months? No, Mr. President, he didn't say months. He said, monks. Those Shaolin guys, they're very strong. Everything's going according to plan.
A furious Rabbi marches in.
Do you have any idea how much these last few days have cost Egypt already? We've had to sell parts of the Sphinx. Look, the nose is gone. It's looking all messed up. We turned the whole country into an e-commerce site. It used to just be called Gypt. Now it's online. Egypt. Remember Tutankhamun? Now it's Tutankhamun. Get it? It's a pun. Get it?
Let's move on, says the Smit guy standing in for the audience. Look, this is by far the best option. Yeah, it's slow and laborious, but it's a guaranteed fix. Or you can carry on doing what you're doing now. You're on what, day 4? How's progress so far? Al Said wouldn't hear it.
We will continue.
I mean, what about both? Like, you could contact the dude and have him come in, but, like, it's going to take him a while to get here. And in the meantime, we're going to continue doing what we're doing, and hopefully everything works out.
With the dredging and the tugging. The supermoon will be here soon, and that will save us. You are foolish, Al Said. The legend of the supermoon is just a legend.
All right, we're on the same team here.
Smit seems to have insisted that offloading cargo was the better plan. The SCA disagreed and wanted to prioritize tugging during the supermoon. Smit starts making moves to let machinery to get machinery to the scene for plan B in case it didn't work, but they were on board with the plan A supermoon idea as well.
If you insist on keeping the cargo aboard and just tugging, we've got resources to help.
Smit calls in 2 additional tugboats.
And not just big ones, pretty much the biggest ones you can get. So Smit and the recovery team have figured out a sort of plan A and plan B. Plan A is to pull the Ever Given free by the supermoon, which is only 2 days away. Now, if that doesn't work, they'll have to go to plan B, which is to offload by crane most of these containers, and that will take months.
Well, day 5. Everyone is mad.
Watching on impatiently, tapping their feet and looking at their watches very aggressively, is now a queue of 400 vessels waiting to use the canal. Fresh fruit, thousands of tons, losing its freshness. Medicine, losing its potency.
After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill.
Most medicines don't lose potency that fast, but if it is refrigerated medicine, yes. If it's just pills, most of them are pretty shelf stable for a while. But, you know, I'm not saying that that's not a thing.
You take the red.
Not to mention livestock.
More than a dozen ships have live animals on board.
Mostly sheep and cattle, lightly sizzling under an Egyptian sun.
Oh, no.
The Egyptian government has had to dispatch vets to board these ships to tend to the animals' welfare. A few days ago, when I was a younger man, freight from Asia only cost $8,000 a container. Now it's $12,000. And the impact is being felt by a lot of larger companies. Renault, for example, ran out of some critical components and had to halt assembly at a couple of its plants. Adidas, Nike, IKEA all saw shortages.
Some of our clients are out of their top-selling SKUs already.
And as tankers queue, oil prices are rising.
Let my people go! Through the little waterway, please. And meanwhile, all across the day, the tugs are trying again and again. Move a little more sand, wait for the next high tide, try again. And as this marches on with the same futility as day one, banking on the supermoon looks like a costlier and costlier gamble.
I mean, they're still doing stuff.
Enough of this. Said about 100 ships opting instead to go the long route around Africa, accepting the longer traffic time and piratey risk.
Ask your governments to bring in, like, military, I guess. I don't know. Hello. No crab. Another thing about TikTok. Did anyone else get on the part of TikTok that teaches you how to eat crabs in different ways? Like how to deshell them, how to get the meat out? Because I don't know why I was on that part of TikTok either, but I was, and I watched every single video about it. I don't know why. I just did.
The supermoon. It's tonight. There's a renewed energy as people scuttle around the area, doing everything they can to prep the ship for the big event. The excavator crew, over the course of the week, has expanded to a team of 11.
Nice.
Working double, sometimes triple shifts with only 3 hours.
Sources say Rabbi slept on the dredge Mashur, while Said slept on the Ever Given with Canthavel's crew.
Hours a day for sleep. Together with the 2 dredges, they have moved 30,000 cubic meters of sand and soil. For comparison, this is 1 cubic meter, and this is 30,000 cubic meters. And here is what it looks like next to the Ever Given. That's a lot of sand. Subway sandwich for scale. And it's borne some results. Overnight, they managed to free the rudder from the...
I also got... Did you get onto crawfish broil? I don't even eat crawfish. But I watched every single one of them.
left bank. And that's a big deal, because this rudder was acting as a bit of an anchor in the sand. Now free, the stern bobs around with the motion of the water. Great stuff. Meanwhile, the crew is doing everything it can to lighten the weight of the ship. That includes making a second plea for the ballast water to be ejected. Oh, please, the Smit guy's already tinkled in there. We just
tinkled.
It would destroy the ecosystem of Egypt. Please.
We had a difficult time with this detail of the story. We aren't sure at which port the ballast water was treated, or even if it was treated at all, but we imagine the situation was needs must. Time was so expensive. During this period, it may have been better just to release the water as fast as possible and clean up the environment later.
All right. Biodiversity. Let 1,000 algae bloom. Nice work. That'll make the ship 9,000 tons lighter, Kenthy. The water's so bright, I can barely see it coming out of the ship. Here, take these. No. I don't deserve them.
Yeah. Okay.
Sunglasses are for people who redeem themselves. That's not me. Hold on to them.
Why did you just slap my aviators out of my hand? That was kind of fucking rude.
Just in case. Into the evening, the pace keeps up. We see Abdullah excavating away. But really, he's thinking about the moon. Rabbi, he's busy taking video calls. But he finds himself distracted
by the moon.
With thoughts of the moon.
Okay.
Even Mr. Kaisha. Is there anything in this world that doesn't remind me of her?
Fighting evil by moonlight, winning love by daylight.
From the Suez Canal problem. Evergiver is stuck in the Suez Canal still. It's been almost a week. A tugboat should be able to move Evergiver's big ass. This is Nana Star's news channel.
Okay. Day 7.
The full moon shone brightly that night, kissing the nape of the canal's.
The sun is not a planet, the sun is a star. There are stars, sailor stars, but they weren't from our solar system, so no, there's not a sailor sun.
Neck with its gravity lips, full tongue. The canal liked it.
Okay.
And spoiling the romance of the moment is a big fleet of tugboats, watching on voyeuristically. They are 17 in total, with just a bit over 1,600 tons of bollard pull.
All right.
And here's how they're arranged around the Ever Given. Of the 4 most powerful tugs, 2 go at the front, and 2 go at the back.
Okay, see, this is what I was talking about earlier, but apparently, no, just 4 of them would not have worked. But still.
Another 6 tugs are put on the flanks. 2 over here, 4 over here. They'll be pushing. The remaining tugs are fueled and ready on the sidelines, waiting for their chance to sub in. Positioned like this, when the word is given, all these ships are going to try and turn the Ever Given anti-clockwise. Looks great, guys! Do you think that this is gonna... I believe in the supermoon. This had better work. The guy with the ruler down by the shoreline yells out, "The tide has hit its peak!" Al Sayed commands over the radio. Start main engines. Tension on.
Let's go.
Full ahead. The tugs start moving. They carve through the water with ease. The immense power from the tugs meet the resistance of the Ever Given. It was at this point that the narrator said something really poetic. Stuff about the night.
Probably.
About how the ships were like dancers on the water. For juxtaposition, we cut away to that crab again, which everybody hated. It's like a metaphor if you think about it.
Okay.
The tugs are sliding to the left. They're sliding to the right. It's not working! Diesel fumes fill the air as the tugs keep increasing their power. The water violently foams behind the tugs. Everyone is staring at the back of...
And for some reason, they're making screaming tire sounds, but that's fine.
that ship. Come on. Move. This goes on for minutes. More minutes. Even more minutes. An hour. 2. 4 hours. By 4:30 a.m., the moon's power is starting to wane and there is very little progress. Don't give up. The tide only goes down so that we can rise once again. Your moon gambit has cost Egypt dearly, Al Sayed. Guards, prepare the sarcophagus with the beetles like in the... What the hell is that?
Like in the movies.
Under the water, all of this tugging has loosened the sand, the soil, the rock. Could it be? The sound of metal tensing and flexing. The ship is beginning to move. It is coming free from the bank. The supermoon gives one last howl. It worked. They pulled the ship from the bank. At the back, at least. Now, the bow is still wedged in there pretty good, but this is progress. We're halfway to freedom. Keep going.
Hell yeah.
So they did. all morning.
Run, Crab, you're about to get eaten.
7:30 a.m. The sun is rising. The tugs have been pulling all night. But the most difficult task, freeing the bow of the ship, remains beyond them. Well,
Okay, if the back is free, I mean, it depends on how free it is and how far away it is, but, like, can we not pull it? Can we not pull it from the back? I don't know, depends.
Guess even the moon has its limits.
I don't want to hear it, El Said. It wasn't enough. That bow is still stuck. No, Mr. President. They're not saying that the bow is still stuck. They're saying, take a bow. And then something else that rhymes with stuck. I gotta go. They were loading up the missiles for Plan B, as the guys on social media suggested. I lied about the crane thing. This was always the plan, says this.
I lied about the crane thing. We were always gonna blow you up if this did not work.
Smit guys. You know what, Canterville? I agree. They should just blow us up.
What?
My career is over now, too. You're the guy who blocked the canal, and I'm the guy who couldn't get it cleared. We've brought instability to the Middle East. But
all right.
Enough, Canterville. I raised your hopes with moon-based promises. But look at the tide. It's low. Low tide. And yet, I am lower still. Canterville looks pensively out the window. And it was at that moment that he had his character arc.
Oh,
He
good.
realized that he was the captain. And the captain is always in charge. Shut up, El Said. We shall continue, regardless of the tide. Is that not the Egyptian way?
Is it?
Don't you remember the story, El Said? That every young Egyptian kid is told about the human pyramid? No. Where there's one guy at the bottom who gives up and we all fall down? Heck, it ain't a triangle if you don't try. We need to be strong. Together.
It ain't a triangle if you don't try. Oh my god. Holy shit.
Like a pyramid. It's what Giza would have wanted.
Giza isn't the name of a guy. It means something like plateau. It's a geographical feature.
You're right, damn it. Thank you, Canterville. That's the most inspirational speech I've ever heard in my life. I'll never lose my faith again. And even though you're kind of the worst captain I've ever seen, you're still the best friend.
In my heart.
So they pressed on all morning, enthusiastically and vigorously tugging away, beating off the fatigue, but to no progress.
Beating it off in their little cabins.
Okay, everyone, take a break. Copy. We'll have lunch and pick up again in a couple of hours. Then suddenly, one of the Smit guys comes busting into the room. I've got an idea. Everybody turns and looks at the Smit guy. All right, well, sorry about the boring diagram, but take a look at this. Remember how we emptied the ballast tanks before? Yeah, of course. Well, now that the ship is half floating, what if we refilled the ones at the back? On this part of the diagram, where the ship is almost floating. That way, it will sink lower here and allow the bow to sit up even higher on the bank. Canterville gives El Said a knowing nod. I got this. I know a guy who owes me a favor. Please, 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 please.
It's hard looking at your face. Whatever gets you out of here faster.
And it worked. The bow lifted, ever so slightly. It's working, it's working. And it gets better. It's now 2 p.m., and that means high tide. Guys, I've got another technical issue. All right, what is it? It's easier if I show you with a drone.
You okay?
Hold on, let me try again. All right, you can see the ship is lodged at the front. The guys are pulling, but it ain't budging. However, a lot of force is building up here. And what if it were to break free? The sudden release could propel the ship straight across the water with a hell of a lot of momentum. It could span the entire canal and land on the opposite bank, only to run aground again. Worse still, it could pin these small tugs in its wake. Dangerous. To solve this problem, they did a bit of a safety briefing, and they got some rope. 4 ropes, actually, tying the bow of the ship to somewhere on the land.
Somewhere.
The lines look great, guys. With the contingency in place, the tugs start up again. And about an hour later, at 3:05 p.m., movement. The bow began to shift. Okay, that's definitely moving. This is it. It's working. The ship made a big noise as it accelerated from the bank. And at first, excitement and relief. The bow was coming free.
What do you mean at first? Don't like that at first comment.
But uh-oh. Remember that concern about the overswing? Well, it's happening. Okay, the only source we found for this part of the story was Bloomberg, but they said that it happened and we wanted to build it. So this recreation is how we imagine it went. The 4 support ropes take strain. Then, snap.
As a ship drew away from the bank, one of the ropes binding the bow to the shore snapped, making a sound like a rifle shot. Those things do make very loud noises when they snap because of how much force is behind them.
One of them breaks. Do you think it's going to hold? I think it's going to hold. Move those tugs out of the way. Snap. Another rope breaks.
Captain El Said.
It's going to hold. Get your tug out of the way, but it's going to hold. Snap. A third rope breaks.
This wasn't made up for dramatic effect. There really were 4 ropes and 3 of them broke.
Get out of the way! Get out of the way! A single strand is the only thing holding this ship from swinging all the way to the other bank and being stuck.
Forever.
Forever.
Not even realizing, Canterville grabs El Said's hand and squeezes it tight.
We assume.
It's gonna hold. You're a madman, Canterville. Mad passionate about this canal, and I ain't afraid of nothing. He said very cold-backedly.
The engines shut off. All that could be heard is the squeak of tightening rope and the scream of torsioning metal.
Sacre bleu.
Okay.
But it is slowing down. It comes to a halt. The final rope held.
But the final one held just long enough to stop the Ever Given from swimming across the canal. To be fair, even if that final rope snapped, it's not a given that the ship would have had the momentum to swing all the way to the other bank by this point.
They really did it.
And the Ever Given rested easy in the middle of the canal. Al Said turns to Canterville. Power up the engines. Let's get your ship moving again. I'm on it.
Untether it from the land first. Okay, just untether the last rope, please.
Says Canterville. All of the tugboats start honking their horns in celebration. Cheers can be heard from the main treasure, the Mashour. In fact, they filmed this celebratory video.
You heard them right, Mr. President. We did it. We did it. It's free. I told you. All in a day's work.
Egypt does not have nuclear weapons. It relies mainly on Pharaoh's curses and many sharp reeds for self-defense.
The president takes his finger off the nuke button. Pack it up, boys.
Okay. Yay!
I can't believe it. All that digging really must have made a difference.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh. Good. Everybody hated that crab.
We did it, Gene. We did it.
Gene?
Where are you?
Captain, who are you talking to? Jean! Captain, there's no Jean on board. Wait a minute. No.
What the fuck? Not Jean! Not the figment of your imagination that helped keep you sane these long ship rides. Not Jean!
It's impossible. Jean, wait! Thank you. I'll always remember you, Canthaville.
And so the canal was clear once again, and chop chop. You still got work to do. By 8 p.m., the workday had not finished for the Suez Canal Authority. There's still a backlog of 400 ships waiting to go through the canal. So Rabbi stands in front of microphones and says, "The canal will be operating around the clock until the queue is cleared." And within a few days, it returned to normal. It was a big accomplishment. Many industry experts thought it would take several months to free the Ever Given, but the crisis was resolved within a mere week. Prepare the sarcophagus for the doubters. Even Egypt's president came out and said, "Good job, everybody. You know what? Pizza lunch." And the
Hell
Suez
yeah.
Canal Authority held a ceremony in honor
Pizza
of
lunch.
the workers who helped to free the ship. And they also made this monument, which you can see on Google Maps.
Ever Giving Grounding Monument. What?
And they also made this
Okay.
monument, which you can see on Google Maps.
Free. Conditions
The
apply.
story doesn't end here. A quick note on the helmsman's penis.
Oh no.
Now you, me, and everyone in the press saw that VDR data.
Fragwürdigen Penismanöver genutzt.
But despite how realistic and to scale it was not deliberate. Yes, sheer coincidence. If you watch the
They say.
VDR data, he really is just dodging the ships, and that's the shape that the path took. So he didn't get in any trouble.
Oh, good.
The end. Oh, all right, I suppose one more smaller detail. Now that the Ever Given is free, what's going to happen to it?
Indeed.
And what's going to happen to the crew?
Indeed.
Well, the Ever Given was tugged over to Great Bitter Lake, where they determined that the ship was seaworthy and not in any urgent need of repair. But it's also going to be impounded. Oh no.
Oh,
Hey, there's,
Jesus.
like, police boats outside. Why? What did you do?
This ship and its crew is now...
Impounded. Oh no.
Oh my god.
Hey, there's, like, police boats outside. Why? What did you do?
What did you do? We did all of this to get unstuck. What did you do to cause the police to show up?
This ship and its crew is now subject to the indefinite detention by the authority of the Egyptian government.
Until you pay us, the Ever Given may not leave, says the Suez Canal Authority. Yes, we will be holding on to the Ever Given. It's our view that there was no wrongdoing on the part of the Suez Canal Authority, or its two pilots, and it was all the crew of the Ever Given, so their ship will be held until the parent company agrees to rightfully pay us for all of the costs incurred. Ruh-roh.
Oh, they are totally getting sued. There's 1,000% gonna be a lawsuit.
Now here's where things get very complicated, and there is a lot of legal mumbo-jumbo.
Yep.
But the crux is this. The Suez Canal Authority says, "Dear Ever Given owners, you owe us $900 million.
Jesus.
And Shoei Kisen Kaisha says, "No way. How many yen is that? No way." So by April 13th, some of the crew
90 billion? Something in that number.
Crew was allowed to leave, but a lot of them have to stay. And there's a certain nervousness in the air. Large legal battles can go on for a while, and there was already a bad example of this just a few dozen kilometers away.
Oh, no.
The MV Aman.
Oh, no.
The MV Aman is a much smaller vessel, and it has been abandoned for years, detained by the Egyptian government in 2017 for expired safety equipment. Now, they were told to replace the equipment and pay a fine. However, there was no one to replace the safety equipment or to pay the fine because the shipping company went broke.
$900 dues.
So they just abandoned the vessel. There was no way for the legal situation to advance. And that meant that there was no way for the ship to be released. Most of the crew had to stay on the ship, and they would keep them there for more than a little while. 13 months before a judge finally decided, all right, look, just leave the keys with one guy. We'll call him the custodian, and everybody else can go home. Now, that custodian was a Syrian man named Muhammad Aisha. Was a Syrian man named Muhammad Aisha.
He was the chief officer at the time. What happens to Muhammad?
Look, he's holding the keys. He's holding.
Muhammad Aisha, 33, declared to be the legal guardian of the abandoned general cargo ship Aman. He is not allowed to leave the vessel until it is sold or a replacement guardian found.
You have to stay on the ship now. Everybody else got to leave, but he had to stay. On top of the 13 months he'd already been there, he spent the next 3 years aboard the ship. Quickly.
Are they I assume they're giving him like food and stuff and like water. Jesus.
The ship ran out of fuel, which meant it ran out of power.
Oh my God.
It ran out of running water. No refrigeration either. Food ran out. Every few days, Mr. Aisha would be allowed to swim onto the shore to get food.
Swim onto the shore? Every few days. What the fuck?
Water, charge his phone, but he was only permitted for about 2 hours until they would tell him.
He wasn't freed until April 22nd of 2021, which means he was still stuck on the MV Aman when the Ever Given was impounded. That has to be like against some like human rights or something like that. Like what the fuck?
Him to scoot. Would this be the same fate for the Ever Given crew? They did not know. But we do, so let me tell you. A few more weeks passed, and the negotiations continued.
The SEA claimed $300 million in reputational damage, $350 million for salvage costs, and about $80 million in lost revenue, and some sundry. A man also died during the recovery effort or just post-recovery. It was a workplace incident, but was factored in. Details are scarce, so we don't want to bring it up in this video.
You guys had those 2 bickering pilots. Yeah, but the captain's always in charge. Sorry, who didn't arrange for tugboats while we were going through the canal? Oh, that was you guys. I'm gonna put 20,000 containers on one of the largest ships in the world and go double the speed limit, then complain about tugboats. But eventually, they all got together in a big room. And they went, I'm sorry about all those things I said and those emails I sent. I didn't mean it. I was tough on you as well. They embraced. They made amends.
Did they?
They made love.
They did not make love.
And they agreed. All right, you can keep using the canal, but sometimes we get to go fishing on the boat. That's fair. That's tough.
The figures of the settlement were not disclosed to the public, so we used our imagination.
But that's fair. They shook on it. It was an Egyptian handshake. They do the thing with the elbow. It was a mummy.
This happened for real, totally.
This story sucks. By September, the crew was allowed to return home. They only got MV Amand a little bit. And that guy on the MV Aman, he got to go home too.
Oh my God! Finally, he should not have been. If they were gonna do that, they should have given him fuel. Like, they should have refueled him or whatever, just so he had power. Or, like, given him something. Or, like, let him, like, they basically imprisoned him. They could have, like, put him somewhere. Like, they could put him in prison or some shit. Like, I'm sure there's, like, laws about it or whatever, but that is ridiculous. That whole situation is horrible.
Get out of here, you scamp. The Ever Given made its delivery to Rotterdam.
Or at least go and pick his ass up on the days that he can go back to shore to get food for 2 hours. Jesus.
They did it. All the cargo is here. Although, it wouldn't hurt to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Canterville continued his career in shipping.
Some sources say Canterville went into a training role. Others that he continued captaining. It's hard to say.
It wasn't the end. Maybe just one more for the road. It's a great time to be a cargo ship captain. I can tell you that much. Al Said returned the Lunexicon back to the Sphinx. Thank you, old friend.
Okay.
And the Ever Given had some minor repairs done to the...
The ship was released in July 7th, 2021, but because it needed those repairs, it wasn't ready for another transit until November. The crew would have watched the ship leave without them but by November they would have been back on board.
Bow over in Qingdao Port in China. And then she was ready to set sail again. The Ever Given was released back into the wild. It sailed into the sunset. Ever since then, global trade has improved. Prices have gone down. The economy flourished once again. Food returned to the supermarkets. Mothers clutched their babes. A litter of puppies.
Okay.
And peace was finally restored to the Middle East.
The nose was returned.
Forever. The end. Thanks again to Saily, the easy way to get data on your phone when you're overseas. And 15% off? Now that's a good deal.
Like, could they have... I don't know. Can big ships like that have solar panels on them? I feel like maybe... I don't know. Because you have to take in consideration, like, weather and shit, right? Because, like, weather can be pretty bad. I don't know. Still, I feel bad for that one guy. The Amman guy. Mohammed.